Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy, we would like to welcome you. Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy, one Gentile and a Jew. Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy, two old men who like to complain. Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy, we hope that you will come back again.
Number 30. Do you believe this is
And
number
we are
30?
back again. Number 30, Dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
Dan,
Yeah.
turn your mic up a little. You're a little quiet. Check 1,
How's
2.
that? Dirty
That's
30.
much better. Much better.
Okay. All right.
What's up,
Yeah,
Dan? We're the 30th podcast, huh?
30th episode.
I
Yep.
can't believe you've this is 30 times we've done this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's really rolling along.
And Fuego. Yep.
Good. Well, we've done some work on the podcast this time. I actually
You have material.
Yeah, I felt bad
Yeah.
about the meandering, lackluster performance of the podcast the last couple times. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go generate some content and put the tiniest effort into it.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a great podcast. I'm feeling good about today's podcast, Dan.
Yeah,
I don't know. Of course,
we're back to our normal status of just complaining about dumb shit rather than like larger issues, you know.
yeah, you know what?
We're not here to talk about the larger issues. There's so much out there that does that. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm not bright. Quite frankly, I'm not bright enough to talk about larger issues.
No, and we're here to complain about the stuff that you don't even realize is annoying you. Like not you and me, but everyone else.
Right.
Like they go through life thinking it's fine, and you and I, we zero in on it.
Right.
You know, we hone in. So
we're going to focus on our strengths. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go right into yours. I am fascinated by this.
I'm going to start.
Yeah, no. I'm fascinated by this.
All right.
You sent me this.
You got the other 2 pictures though, right? Not like I sent you 6 pictures.
You did. I just picked the 4 I liked the most. I can, if you want me to put one up, I can.
Oh, no, these are fine. These are good.
Yeah. And then I have your other thing, but I wanted to start with this because you would tease me on this. You had said that you went to this mall where no one was.
Right.
But it like the pictures, it looks like it's still being cleaned and it's immaculate, right?
Dan, okay, so Dan's putting up pictures of the mall that I went. So Ro and I went to do some. Okay, Dan and I are old enough to remember malls and how, huge they were and popular they were for our youth, and movies like, Pretty in Pink and all these sort of like. It had a lot to do with the mall, Jeff Spicoli and all this. And the mall was a big part of growing up. The mall is dead now. There's a mall in Arizona, and I visited one a couple years ago. Then they demolished it, and I really should have taken pictures of that one. But this mall is the one that's still doing well. And I know you put up a bunch of. I went back to take photos. So I went on Tuesday with Ro, and I haven't been to this mall in ages. And I forget why we were there. She had a coupon or something that we needed to use, of course. So we had to go to the mall, right? We went to Bath and Body Works. Has Kara ever dragged you in one of these?
Yeah, the one here went out of business. They went out of business. Oh no, not Bath and Body Works. No, Bath and Beyond went out of business. Bath and Body Works. Right.
Bath and Body Works is the one with the lotions that stinks to high heaven.
I will not set foot in that place.
Okay, I didn't set foot in there either. Yeah. It's. So you walk in there, I could do a whole thing on just that store. But anyway, we go into there because she had a coupon, and that was Tuesday. And we're walking around this big-ass mall. And this was Tuesday, and I remember like, oh, my God, this place is dead. So, and I didn't take any pictures that day, and I couldn't stop thinking about it or talking about it. So I told her, I got to go back to the mall on Friday to take pictures. I just went back just to take these pictures. When I tell you these photos were taken Friday – actually, no. Saturday at noon, I took these pictures. You would think that at Saturday at noon, this place would be teeming. And I just sent you a couple pictures. This whole mall was dead. I mean, there's a couple people walking around. But I want to talk about the dead mall and I mean, it's just sort of like this is not going to exist for much longer. There's no way. I was just kind of looking at this from sort of a business standpoint. So of course it's a big mall with like 3-story high, big vaulted ceilings. And it's Arizona. It's 114 degrees. You walk in there, it is ice cold. The whole mall is ice cold. And, you know, I'm just thinking about our house with our air conditioning bill here in Arizona. I'm like, what is the mall? My mind started to just be boggled. Like, what's the air conditioning bill for the mall?
Oh yeah.
Dan, I mean, you're better at business than me. Uh, I can't wrap my head around it. And then all these malls have like these like slots in these stores that they charge rent for, right? The business people charge rent, and what's their rent like? And are they making enough return on investment to pay their to pay their rent, which is probably no. And so is the mall making enough money on their investment, renting out these spots to pay their air conditioning bill? There's no way.
Malls are dying nationally. I mean, that's everywhere.
It's got to be, right? There's no way. So I'm walking around this mall, and my mind is just racing on these things, like, because my head is tuned into like you, like, we don't want to talk about heavy issues, but like things that are just sort of collapsing or not going to be around much longer, you know. And like the mall, there's no fucking way, because the whole mall is bone ice cold. It's dead. There's nothing in there. There's no one buying anything. And I want to hone in on these two photos, the one on the left and the one on the right. So the one on the right, I don't know if you could put that up by itself. It's called Forever Girl. And I stopped dead in my tracks when I looked at this store, because
It looked like prom dresses and stuff.
Okay, this is what it is. So, and it's a big store, and it's called Forever Girls. And it's got these big, you can't zoom into the picture, but you can see it, like these big sort of poofy, you know, Disney like fairyland dresses that you never see anyone wearing ever, unless they're doing a Disney cosplay, or it's like a quinceañera, right? Or it's prom. And even that, there's no like it's such a niche thing. And it's this, it's this enormous store filled with these big poofy prom dresses that are thousands of dollars. And there wasn't one customer in there. And I'm thinking to myself, what's the rent? How many dresses do they got to sell to pay the rent? How many people on average go in there? I was so filled with material when I was walking around the mall. Dude, I was stunned. And so Forever Girl, I stopped and took a picture of it. And I'm like, how does this place shouldn't exist. Like, I'm looking at something that felt like a hallucination, because it shouldn't fucking exist. There should be no need for a Forever Girl fucking store. Like, yes, you know what a quinceañera is? You know what that is. You speak Espanol. Okay.
No.
You know, when a girl turns 15 or 14.
Quinceañera, yes.
I'm not pronouncing it right.
Yes.
So, yeah, girl turns 15 or whatever, and they make it's like a coming of age thing. They have a massive party in the Mexican culture, and you got to wear one of these dresses like this. So there's probably one time in a Mexican girl's life that she's going to wear this dress, and that's it. And then maybe the only other reason someone is going to go in this store is to buy, like, if they're doing a Disney cosplay. I was thinking maybe a Disney cosplay. It'd be like the fairy princess. Big poofy dresses that come out like a bell, you know, and they're thousands of dollars. And I'm like, why does this store exist? I don't, no one's in there. It's super ice cold in there. And then the other one, Dan, I got to bring your attention to this other photo. Kenneth Schill Teaching Studio. It's a place, you're going to love this. Do you see can you see what the paintings are?
Yes, Jesus. It's Jesus.
Can you explain, tell the radio audience what you see in this photo?
So it looks like some kind of art studio, and where they teach you how to draw Jesus. And like,
okay. So
hey, Bruce, come on, you can get a job there, artist in residence.
I was stopped. So I'm walking around with Ro in the mall on Tuesday, and I was so distracted. She's like, okay, I know you don't want to be here in the mall. We just went to the Bed Bath & Beyond store, the Bath and Body Works, whatever the fuck. She got some lotion for $5 and we got the hell out of there. She's like, I know you want to get the hell out of here. And I was like, no. I'm gathering content for the podcast. Let's walk around, do a couple laps in and out of here. So the Kenneth Schill Teaching Studio, I got to tell you, this place is located in the corner of the food court. And honest to God, they've got an orange Julius, and they got an orange Julius, and they got a Sbarro, SB Arrow, which is like that bad Italian food. And I'm like, why is an orange Julius exist? This place felt like a time capsule. So you go into the food court, which is an old school food court, and I didn't take a picture of it. They've got an actual carousel where you can put your kids on this little carousel going around, right? And so this Kenneth Shell teaching studio is located in the back of the food court.
I do love Orange Julius, Bruce. I do love Orange Julius.
I love it too. But I mean, is there anyone else besides 50-year-old white guys that like Orange Julius? Like there wasn't one person there. There wasn't one fucking person there. And across the board, look, interrupt me at any time you want because I'm very verbose when it comes to the Dead Mall. Please chime in when you need to chime in, so I'm not just rattling on. The art studio, I stopped dead in my tracks. I'm an artist myself, right? So I'm looking at these aren't prints. These are original art. These are oil paintings. And I went and looked at the prices of these things. We're looking at like $300 a pop. And yeah, and each was and here I'll be honest with you, they're not bad. The actual oil paintings, they are not bad. But every single one is a portrait of Jesus, and the Jesus either looks like a young William Dafoe or a Keanu Reeves. So like that's the two sort of facial models. It's a young William Dafoe and a young Keanu Reeves as Jesus. Heavy oil paintings. You can see the texture of the paint. He paints someone with a knife, whatever. There's not a painting in there that's not a painting of Jesus. No Moses.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Please chime in. Please chime in.
If I said to you, Bruce, I'm going to give you $300, and you have two choices. You can either buy Jesus there,
right,
and hang Jesus in your house, or you have to take that $300 to the water park with Ro and go and spend the day at the water park.
That's a really good question. Okay, so hold on. You're giving me $300.
I'm giving you $300, so you have to.
But there's only two ways that I have to spend it.
Yes.
One of them is I have to buy a Jesus painting and interact with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on. I've got to have conversation. Because, by the way, here's the thing, but I don't tell you. The actual artist is back there in the photo. You can't see it. He's back there painting as we speak. So, like, you can't just go and look at the painting. I made this mistake. I went and looked at the paintings, and I started talking with Ro. I'm like, oh, my God, looks like Keanu Reeves. Then I got to watch my voice because Ro's like, he's back there, And I'm like, fuck. He's back there. Maybe
you got to have a conversation with the
artist,
and you have to take the thing home, and you have to hang it somewhere.
Hang it on the wall. Or I could take the $300 to the water park with Ro. I'm going to the water park. Because it's a good question, and it's
you're
close.
Torturing yourself for a day.
But here's the thing: at the water park, at least we can set up. You're giving me $300. I know the water park to get in is expensive as fuck. It's like $60, right?
Yeah.
But I know I can just we can set up in the back, and I can eat hot pretzels and pizza, right? and I can spend $300 at the water park. But you didn't say anything about you're forced to go on the water rides.
No. You just have to go for the day.
Oh man, I'm going to the water park. If anything, I'm just sort of hang out like in a sort of like a remote section and just sort of like. It is annoying though, the water park. You're right, but
all right, back to the mall. So
So I'm looking at pictures of Jesus and stuff, and I'm blown away that they're all pictures of Jesus and stuff. And there's the guy back there, and then he's got other additional signs that say. You can take a painting class with this dude, and it's $75 a session. It's twice a week, and he gives you the canvas and the paints. And I'm thinking, that's cheap.
You know what you should do? You should go in there.
Oh my God, you're right.
You should go in there, and you should go in wearing one of those like a little keffiyeh, not a keffiyeh, but some kind of those little Muslim caps, and you go, "Hello, sir. I like to paint the picture of Muhammad," which you're not really allowed to do.
Well, you can't paint a picture of Muhammad.
You're not allowed to do that. So that's bad. You would say.
I would say.
The great Ibn. You'd make up a name. Sheikh Ibn al-Khan Kwanza. And I like to paint a picture of him. He great sheik in Iran.
So something to boil the blood of this guy. I mean, I hate to tell you, but
get out of here, man. Get the fuck out. I don't want to see you here no more.
Okay. You wouldn't be a Muslim guy. That's not what's going to boil this guy's blood. what's going to boil this guy's blood if I went in there with a pride flag on my shirt and I wanted to paint a picture of OAC or something. But we're not going to talk about.
No, what about gay Jesus? What if you say
gay Jesus would rule? Oh, you know what?
Listen, Bob. I've read through the whole Bible, and there's good evidence that Jesus.
Well, by the way, so here's the deal. All these paintings of Jesus, of course, are white guys. Like, he's making them dark-haired and stuff, but they're white guys.
Yeah.
I should go in there and bust out the brown ochre and just really dark-skinned, you know what I mean? Like, really dark-skinned Middle Eastern Jesus would be great. And I could put him in like a dirty brown robe and have him hanging out with prostitutes and lepers and stuff like this. And that would be great. So let me get back to Kenneth Schill. So he's like this old white guy that's back there. And he's painting pictures while you're looking at the paintings. And I had to watch my voice because Ro tells me all the time, your voice carries. People can hear you, you know. Because I walked right up and like, look at these paintings of Jesus. Please, they look like Keanu Reeves. And she's like, he can hear you. He's right back there. And I felt bad. I'm like, oh, shit, you know. But then I looked at the...
Kenneth, his name is Kenneth Schilling.
Yes, Schilling.
And I'm on the website, The 100 Face of Jesus, art that speaks to the
Did you
soul.
really look him up?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, here. Let's do this. Hold on. Stay there.
I got the hell out of there. But I'll be honest, once I saw him back there, I got out because I thought he was going to come talk to me. Oh my God.
Okay, so
you did this when I was talking.
The 100 Faces of Jesus, art that speaks to the soul. So look at all these, man. Look at this.
And they're all Jesus, right?
There's Jesus with a donkey.
Right.
There's Jesus
walking through a door.
Jesus with a chick and a fountain. Jesus upset and getting water on him. Jesus walking on water.
Jesus O-face.
There he is again. Oh my God. Jesus with a lamb.
With a lamb.
Go
back. That's Keanu Reeves.
That's Keanu.
Wait, that's Liam Neeson. That's a young Liam Neeson.
Yeah. You take my daughter, I kill you.
Yeah, I have a very special set of skills.
So,
and there he is.
Why does he have a cane? I don't know.
Walking on water.
So now he looks like kind of Antonio Banderas. No.
Yeah, it's always I
mean, look, man. I'll be honest, right? I'm a Jew.
Kids in this one. Wow.
Listen,
one's nuts.
I'm a Jew. Okay, so I'm not into Jesus, but I can respect a person who has strong faith. That's fine. It's fine with me. Great. Good for you, right? No, I
got no problem with it. I'm just it's funny to talk about.
This is an enormous level of dedication to that. Like, I'm just going through all these. The same guy did all of these, right? I mean, oh, there's Keanu again.
So I'm an artist, right? And I don't like shit talking about artists too much. And I did preface this whole thing by saying these paintings are good. They are good.
These eyes, contemplation of all these men.
So the paintings are good, but then these are the students. Okay, that's what I was getting into.
Oh my God.
So he charges $75, and across the board, they're boomer white ladies. There's no one else is taking a fucking
Asian.
There's in there.
Asian.
Okay, close.
Let's see. She's not a boomer. Far left. She's kind of cute.
Maybe like a 35-year-old bored housewife.
There's ethnic. Those look like Latinos.
Well, guess what? When you take a painting class, you don't have to paint a picture of Jesus.
Boomer, young. Boomer.
Mostly white boomers.
Boomer.
Dan.
Boomer.
This is Mesa, Arizona, Dan. They're all going to be white boomers.
There's a kid. Hold on, I'm going to disprove you. Hold on.
No.
They're not all. We're going to find a non-white boomer.
Overwhelming. Sorry. Keep scrolling. We're looking at a 90 percentile. You can keep scrolling. It gets worse the more you scroll.
There's a Latin woman.
Yeah. You know what, Dan? It's white boomers.
Here's a Latin woman. I just showed her to you.
Okay. You got 5%. Give me a break. But anyway, you go there, and here's the thing. It's $75, and you get the canvas and the oil painting is included in it, and it's a 3-hour class. And Rose saw that. She goes, "That's so expensive." And I go, "No, it's not. Oil paints, I don't know if you know this or not, a tube of oil paint can cost damn near $45, right? So just like the oil paints and the canvas alone, I mean, this guy's not making any money. So I started like really thinking about this guy.
Watch this. My name is Bruce.
No, please don't do this. I don't want to get involved.
Learning.
Dan, don't do this. He's going to find out of it.
It's my
Dan, don't,
savior.
seriously, don't send this guy.
No, no, all right, I'm not.
No, please get rid of this. I beg of you. I don't want to get involved with this guy. But anyway, that's part of the mall speech is that the Jesus guy, and then the dresses, right? And then there's the other dead shots of just like that's the top and the bottom shot is just walking around the mall.
Dead. Yeah.
And another thing I got to say is, so the way the mall, I don't know about malls, but correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. So someone must own the property and they rent out these little stalls to whatever business wants to get. Is that how a mall works?
Basically, yeah. Yeah. It's owned. There's one big owner like Simon Malls or something like that.
Right.
And yeah. So
And
I'm
they
a
rent out-
look, man, if you have this Jesus painter and he's buying, that means that the rent's cheap now, man. The rent's cheap.
No. Okay. No. I think the rent is super expensive because if you go walking around the mall,
No one can afford it anymore. No one can afford it anymore. No one.
Well, here's the thing. I counted it. I did a little math. We're talking about a good 20-25% of all the stores are boarded up. They're done.
Well, yeah, of course.
Not only that, at the end of the mall, there's always like a Macy, a J.C. Penney, and whatever. They border the ends of the mall, like the big parts that you go in. They're done. There's only one store that's open. Macy's is shut down for good.
The term
Sears
for those
is gone.
the term is anchor.
Okay, Anchor. Thank you. I didn't know that. So, but there's one Anchor left in this mall, and it's a J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney's open. I should have taken pictures in there.
Yeah, that's low.
Who's going into? It's like who's drinking milk who's going into J.C. Penney to buy a pair of pants?
Nobody.
Like my mom used to bring me to J.C. Penney when it was time to go to school, and she'd buy me some slacks and some dungarees and some corduroys.
Nobody.
Those days are gone. I mean, like, but there are only 3 stores that are doing well in the mall. Like there's Claire's, which sells like earrings and stuff, and there's a couple. There was a Spencer's. You know Spencer's, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what Spencer's is the way you think it is.
It's novelty shit. Tchotchkes, novelty tchotchkes.
And when you go in the back of the Spencer's, what do you see?
It's a little X-rated stuff.
Yeah, but softball X-rated stuff, right?
Yeah. Softcore X-rated. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I went into the Spencer's. I didn't take a picture of it. I went into the Spencer's and I walked in and I was like, there were 2, very overweight 40-year-old, heavily tattooed white women in there.
Yeah.
And who looked like, I don't know. So I walked into the back of the Spencer's and it's not soft sort of X-rated shit. It's a wall of dildos, Dan.
Whoa.
And yeah, like back in the day would be like maybe mugs with a penis on it,
Did you handle any of the merchandise?
No, I didn't touch any schlongs. I did look at them though, because I just wanted to go back there and make these chicks uncomfortable. Like, oh, there's a 50-year-old white guy back here, like fucking staring at the. But anyway, so there's all these dongs and stuff back there, and there's the fake vaginas and stuff and all this. And I contemplated buying one of those. You know what I mean? Like they had flashlights, Dan. They had flashlights.
Oh yeah.
And they had the blow-up dolls, which are really great. I had all that fun stuff. And but again, no customers. No one's buying anything. I walked into a place called a Sunglasses Hut. Now I had an interaction here I want to talk about just a little bit. You know what a sunglasses? I mean, it's right. That's old school. Yeah. And it wasn't a middle kiosk. They actually had a store.
Yeah.
And again, my mind is racing to find. So I went in and I was thinking about the podcast, and there was like this young black dude working there. And of course, no customers. He's playing on his phone. I'm thinking to myself, I got to get a job in the mall. That's the kind of job I want. You can play on your phone all fucking day, and no customers are in there to bother you. You can hang out in the air conditioning. It's got to be a really easy job to work in the mall, right? It's got to be great. So I walk in, and the guy's like, "Oh, hello, welcome to Sunglasses Hut." And I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And he's like, "Great, how can I help you?" And I go, honestly, I just want to ask a couple questions. My name is Bruce, and I haven't been to a mall in forever. And obviously, I'm an older guy. And I hate to ask you, could you be candid and answer some questions? And he goes, that's when he got a little saucy with me. Instantly, I felt like,
he's not looking to fucking have a conversation.
I know, but I irritated him, but I don't care. I went for it anyway, Dan. I took a page out of your book, and I decided I don't care if I'm irritating this guy.
Yeah.
I need content. So I'm like, I started in. Instantly, that's where I understood this guy's not an employee. He's the owner. He's the guy that pays the bills at the Sunglasses.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's
Wow.
some sort of like he's got more whatever it is. He's got more in stake than an hourly
He's got
employee.
skin in the game. Gotcha.
Yeah, if he was an hourly employee, he wouldn't give a fuck because
That's
he answered
true.
the
He'd be
question.
like, yeah, sure. What do you want
Yeah,
to know?
I mean, really. So he got a little like he cares. This guy cares. So I walked in. I'm like, so Sunglasses Hut. It doesn't seem like this place is doing any business, or like it seems like this whole mall is dead. I started going on like that line of questioning. The guy got instantly defensive again, and it's
Listen,
then
man.
that he was very gay too. So
Listen.
he got very much like the Sunglasses Hut is doing very well. In fact, we did our best year ever last year, and I'm like, really? And then he goes like this, hand to God. He goes, see this lady? She just handed off this pair of sunglasses. I'm going to repair these today. So things are going fine here at the Sunglasses Hut. And I'm looking at the wall. It's lined with sunglasses that cost $200.
Yeah.
Who's buying these, right?
Nobody.
And then he's got one pair of sunglasses that some old white boomer lady dropped off for him to repair that he's going to charge, what, $50?
Yeah.
How much? And then my mind is I'm bad at math, but I'm thinking, how many pairs of sunglasses does this guy have to repair to fucking make the rent for one day? What?
Yeah.
It's got to be astronomical.
Dude, mall. I mean, there's only one mall I've been to in like the past decade that wasn't dead, and it was very weird. I was in El Paso, Texas, a couple of years ago. And
Tell me about that.
It was bedlam. It was like 1983.
How many years ago?
Just a couple of years ago. I went out there. I flew out to El Paso to see Iron Maiden. I was hanging out with some buddies, and it was hot as hell. And we're like, let's go somewhere indoors. So we went to the mall, and it was just insane.
There were people walking around?
Yeah, so crowded. Yeah.
What kind of stores were in there? The same kind of stores?
No, typical, normal. There's something about El Paso. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I can't wrap my head around it. The mall was
heavy. I was going to say heavy Latin community, but you have that in Mesa also.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, definitely a lot of Hispanic people there, but that would be the case where you are. So I don't know.
Well, isn't El Paso right on the border, kind of?
Yes,
is it close?
It is right on the border.
Okay. That would make a little more sense. But yeah, I mean, that's interesting that you say that some malls are doing well, because I had the impression that like they all got to be dying, you know?
No, they are dying. I mean, they are. I'm just saying that I've been to that one.
They got, and apparently there's one in the Midwest, like Great Mall of America. That's a big deal because that's what
that's in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Okay, that's what. So the guy that was working the Sunglasses Hut, to get back to him, he's like, we're doing well.
Listen,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, Bucko.
Sunglasses.
These Ray-Bans are flying off the shelf. Okay?
Yeah, he's like, Sunglasses Hut is doing very well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Hey, he was upset with me or whatever.
Yeah,
but
he pissed him off.
Yeah, but I thanked him. I'm like, thank you for your candor. You know.
You know what is the new anchor of the mall here? It's crazy.
You got in Gainesville, Florida?
Yeah, Sears died.
Let me guess.
A new anchor.
A Bass Pro Shop.
No, you won't guess.
All right, hold on. Let me try again. It's not a Bass Pro Shop.
It's not a store.
Let me guess. It's a center where your kids go and jump around in a playhouse. It's
a good guess, but no. It's a fucking emergency room. It's a healthcare.
It's a healthcare?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're an altacocker and you're keeling over. That's where they bring
you drive to the mall. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, so that's.
But I just talked a half an hour about the fucking mall.
So I want to get. I'm going to switch. We're going to switch to my complaints this week because I have 3.
Sorry.
No.
What do you think? What do you think about the mall stuff? Sum it up. What do you think about the mall stuff?
It's pretty much what I expected. I mean, that's how malls are now. I love that you went to the guy and questioned him. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I almost recorded.
But
all right,
I love that you did that. So
now we're going to talk what Dan wants to talk about. Let me explain. So you put up a picture of. So Dan likes to go to restaurants and take pictures. Dan likes to go to restaurants and take pictures of people without their consent. And they're always you do, and it's always pictures of very unflattering pictures of like usually older people or maybe overweight people, and it says this week's what's that word? Chafes. What is chafes? That means things are irritating.
It's irritating. To chafe. Yeah.
So this week's Heeb's chase. He's got.
Okay, so I had three things this week that I'm gonna hit on.
Please talk. Let's talk about it.
Let's go left to right. All right.
Left to right.
So far left is a man in overalls who is
Yeah.
conservatively 400 pounds, maybe probably more.
What's his age?
Tough
to tell. He could be 50.
Late 60s, something like that.
Yeah. Oh
He's
my
older
God.
than me.
Let me describe the photo real quick. Dan sends me this photo. It's a picture of a big guy. I can tell it's taken without his consent. Like Dan puts his phone down. Dan puts his phone down and is really good at it actually. And he takes a picture of some guy. So it's like some old guy. He's holding up his arm. Dan sends me this picture with he's holding up his arm, and this man's hand, his whole arm from the elbow up to his hand, is like necrotic, like it's rotting rotting and black. And the guy is looking at it. Dan captured a picture of this guy inspecting his own necrotic arm. So now that I've painted the picture, what's going on?
So when we went, this is a little diner in the little town we live in. Okay.
Oh my God.
And it's good. You would like it. It's good. Food's good.
Really? What kind of food? What kind of going on?
It's diner food. It's breakfast, lunch. Diner food. So
I love it. And you're there with Kara.
I'm there with Kara. When we're going into the place. He's there a little bit before me. So I can see he's a big guy. He's got a cane. And I open the door for him, and there is a step up about 3 inches, because the slab's a little higher than the ground.
Yeah.
And Bruce, when I tell you, it took him 57 seconds to walk 4 feet, to get up the 3 inches, and then walk another 3 feet into the place.
Yeah.
I sat there, and it's hot as fuck, and I sat there and waited. The guy is morbidly obese. You can see his necrotic arm.
Is he wheezing and making noises? Like
wheezing? Unbeknownst to him, what he's looking at is he's bleeding badly from that arm.
No. So he's okay. Hold on. So he's looking. We see the one side of his arm. He's looking at the other side of his arm.
This is him discovering it.
You saw the blood before he did?
Yes.
Oh God. Oh no.
So okay. So this guy.
Oh no. Gets
into the restaurant. It takes him a minute and a half to walk 8 feet. Right.
I'm surprised you got far. You didn't want to get away from a bleeding fat
I wanted to get away. Kara had already been seated, so I sat down, and this guy walks in, wheezing, points at the closest table, and the waitress goes, "Sure," and he sits there, and at this point he has no idea he's bleeding. He puts his arm on the table. He doesn't know yet. He puts his arm on the table. He's sitting there waiting to get served, and then by the time he realizes he's bleeding. He asked the waitress to bring him some wet napkins because he can't get up to get him. If this were me, I walk in, I realize I'm bleeding. I would get my ass up. I would go to the bathroom, right? And I would wet a paper towel, and I would go.
Yeah, but he can't get to the bathroom.
No. So okay, so
now he needs the waitress to help him admit her first aid.
Bleeding,
as if her job doesn't suck enough. There's bleeding.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly.
Oh my God, dude.
So he addresses the bleeding. He wipes it down. He puts a napkin on the table. I'm trying to ignore it because I have to eat.
I got to interrupt. Why did you not get up and leave at this point? There's no way you want to sit here.
Because Kara had already sat down and had ordered drinks for us. Like she was there a couple minutes before me.
Does Kara not get up and move with shit like this as badly as you wanted to?
And the place was packed. There's nowhere we could have gone.
Oh, the place was packed. Okay. So, another quick question. Is this guy dining alone or is he with someone?
Solo.
Oh my God, dude.
So, so finally he gets his wounds addressed. The waitress comes over and he orders fried fish with French fries and baked beans.
You hear the order.
I hear it. And I'm thinking to myself, dude.
Do the accent. Do they have an accent? Can
fried
you talk?
Fish, French fries, baked beans.
Southern draw.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. That's fine. But the thing is, dude, you're going to be dead in a year.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. His arm's already dead.
Yeah. It's like, wait, dude, like, has your doctor not told you maybe lay off the fried foods? Like, it's wild to me. It's absolutely wild.
So there's a lot of dudes like this, though, that, and there's a lot of people that live like this. They just, I guess it's a big, long scale of being super healthy and care about what you do because you want to live a nice, long life and you want to be happy.
No, but when you get to this point, and goddamn well, his doctor has said to him, look, Fred, you're 450. You're not going to be around much longer unless you.
But I know dudes like Fred and guys like Fred's will tell their doctor, I don't care.
Really?
I want to live. I know a guy who's just like this who goes to Wasteland. He has a heart attack every time he goes to Wasteland. Hand to God, he's had 3 heart attacks. Because when he goes to Wasteland, he's this age and this unhealthy. And when he goes to Wasteland, he smokes cigarettes, drinks a ton, eats a ton of bad food. The doctor, same thing, says, you have heart problems. You shouldn't even be going to Wasteland. You should not be eating bacon. And what you definitely should stop smoking cigarettes. He doesn't do any of that shit. And I would tell him, hey, man, do you not care? Do you want to die? And he says straight up, I like bacon and smoking cigarettes and drinking. If I die, I die. At least I want to spend.
Okay. Well, he can't be that obese. He can't be that obese if he's going to Wasteland.
No, he's not obese, but I mean, he's having multiple heart attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. No,
so what do you think about that? I mean, what do you think about that?
I guess I can respect that to a degree, but
I had a hard time grappling with that. I wanted to hear your thoughts.
I think the difference with your guy is being able to move is a biggie for me, right?
Yeah, that's mobility is a thing, right? Like once
I can understand being like your guy, and he can move around, and he's got a relatively normal life. He's got health issues. He's going to die an early death because of his lifestyle, But while he's alive, he can live a normal life.
Gets mobility is the big thing.
Gets in his car.
He doesn't
need a special car.
Dude, he's got a Wasteland car that's themed out, and he drives chicks around. He has a blast. He's living a great.
Look, God bless him. That's his choice.
Yeah,
fine. Not my business. But when you're like this guy, you can't move. You can't move. Like you become a burden. You can't move. It's just. And here's the other thing, Bruce, that amazes me about this.
Please,
a guy like this. This is what amazes me. Someone that size, you wouldn't even have to make drastic changes. If you just made tiny changes, he would lose weight quickly.
What did he ordered a big soda to drink, didn't he?
I didn't hear what he got to drink, but I'm sure it has sugar.
You know it's a soda. Give me a Dr. Pepper, no ice.
Yeah, right.
You know it's a big soda.
Morbidly obese amazed me, like I said, because it's not like me and you where you and I, to lose weight, have to put a fair amount of effort into it.
Yeah.
But a guy like that, you would need to put a tiny changes, and he would lose a bunch of weight.
So guys like this, I've seen it. You're absolutely right. Guys like this, and I've seen this happen where they go, you know what? I'm going to quit soda. Like keep eating the fried fish.
Yeah.
Everything that.
Yep.
If this guy here cuts out all soda.
Yep.
The doctor's going to be like, this is amazing. Easily, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because this guy, you're right. This guy's clocking in 450, yeah?
That's what's amazing about a lot of these folks is that you don't have to do much. I'm not asking you to lose 300 pounds. I'm saying, how about you start with 50? How about you just cut out the soda, like you said, or cut out one thing. Yeah. Cut out French fries, one thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, and
this isn't like a thing about fat shaming. This is a thing that is sort of this impacts other people. Like if I start to think about like,
if you cannot move, you're a burden.
You can't move, and think about like the waitress at the house. Oh, here comes this guy. No,
it is a lot of downstream consequences on other people when you are immobile.
This probably has like a caretaker at some point, right? A guy that's got to come in to like help clean the house, and God forbid, then you need to get someone to come flip you over and clean your bed sores and
that's and so you call it fat shaming, call it what you want. If you're not bothering anybody and you're just choosing to live a certain way, great, God bless you. But like
the guy with the heart attack, fine, whatever.
Yeah, that's different. But this is a whole other thing. Like you can't tell me this guy's not a burden. Anyway,
but the guy with the heart attack. Here's the problem with the guy with the heart attack. He goes to the event, and then the guy that runs the event goes, fuck. He knows. Think about it. It's in California. The red tape, the lawsuits. He's like, this guy keeps showing up and having a heart attack at my event. I mean, yeah, they have him sign things that say, if anything happens to you, XYZ, it's not on me. But that's just a piece of paper. You know how it is. And so, like, it does. Like, you think about, like, the ambulance driver who's got to drive out there. Someone died on my shift today. It's because this guy wants to eat bacon.
Yeah,
it impacts
everybody. Scene. It's a bad scene. And you don't see a lot of elderly obese people for a reason. I mean,
you don't see a lot of elderly obese people. You don't see a lot of old addicts and alcoholics. I noticed,
no.
And you don't see a lot of old smokers. They tend to go. Now, what's going on with this second picture?
Okay, second picture is a very.
By the way, hold on. The guy's necrotic arm.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you're sitting really close to that arm.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm sure you would have done like, are there like patches of skin flaking off like dead?
Yes,
like, is he picking at it?
Yeah. No,
How are you eating?
It. No,
he wasn't picking
He
at
was
it.
addressing his wound. He was bleeding.
So like he must have
gash.
caught the big gash of flake skin, flaky.
I was trying to ignore him as much as humanly
Dude,
possible.
I'm really surprised you didn't leave. Okay, what's worse, this or the child sitting right next door? Like, if there's a child, there's a 5-year-old child right here. What's worse?
It just depends on the kid. If the kid is well behaved,
yeah, I guess a kid. All right, what's going on with the middle picture? You've got another picture. Let me describe. Another picture of another old white boomer that's obese. That's a photo being taken of them by Dan without their consent. Go on.
All right, so she's sitting in a booth. As you can see, she's very petite. She's probably 5 foot tall. Her feet don't touch the floor. I wouldn't say obese. She's significantly overweight, but not.
Hold on.
Massive.
Different restaurant, different time altogether.
Different everything.
What I want the radio on. Dan is always going to restaurants.
Yeah,
right, Dan.
I do.
Is there a restaurant every day? Got to be every day you go to, especially with the RV. There's a restaurant every day.
Yes, every day. Yes.
Now that you're in the RV, there's way more restaurants.
Yes.
Which is good for the podcast. Lots more opportunity to be pissed off. But go on.
So she's sitting there. She's talking to a person on the other side of the booth, and our waiter comes over and he says, "Hey, can I get you something to drink?" As soon as he starts asking us that, this woman goes into a nose-blowing fit. Okay, Bruce.
Okay.
This was beyond the pale. Beyond the pale.
Excuse me.
Way worse. No. I'm talking.
What did you call it? A nose blowing brigade? What?
It was a nose blowing extravaganza. It was so bad that I wasn't able to order a drink. I just stared at her while the guy was waiting for. I was like, the guy was waiting for me.
Did the waiter pick up?
The waiter laughed because he realized what was going on. And this was later. I am generally anti nose blowing in restaurants. If you have to do it, you have to do it. This was.
Hold on. I am anti nose blowing in restaurants.
Correct.
That's a really funny statement.
Go to the bathroom.
And it's kind of
true. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
I mean, okay, you can't go to the bathroom every time, but I'm with you on this. It's a bit extreme, and a lot of people.
It's one thing if it's clearly like an immediate need, and you do it, and you're fast, and you're done. This woman.
But this was like recreational nose blowing.
This was recreational nose blowing.
Performative nose blowing,
and it was a good 8 Mississippi count of doing it, right? And I was just amazed, and she kept and then shift the napkin around.
Is she blowing her nose in her Dan? Is she blowing
her lap? Put it on her lap.
Is it a cloth napkin or
it's
paper
what you see on her lap?
Yeah, but is it a cloth napkin?
Right there.
I know, but is it cloth or paper?
No, paper.
Okay. So it's a restaurant, they give you a paper napkin. She's blowing her. She didn't walk in there with her own roll of toilet paper, right?
No.
This is just napkins from the restaurant.
It was, and again, if this was and done, I wouldn't like it, but
here's the problem: the waiter has to deal with these napkins at some point.
Eventually, yes.
Correct. Oh my god, dude! Go on,
and she did it multiple times, and my wife was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Because I wasn't answering the waiter. I'm like, "Did you not hear that?" I guess she didn't notice. I don't know how.
So hold on, you're focusing on the nose blowing thing, and this is not affecting Kara at all.
At all. Yeah,
but like me and you, this is now a thing.
Oh, again, let me repeat. If we're talking done, I don't like it, but I won't necessarily notice or care that much.
Yeah,
this was 8 Mississippi count recreational nose blower.
This is why I love you, Dan, because this is where we are so similar. Because yeah, this is just like. This would have consumed my day. Yeah, I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I would have been on the drive home thinking about the nose blowing and your better half's trying to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm still on the nose blowing. Like, how could she and
I have another little footnote to this.
Please go on, talk more about the nose blowing.
When we came into the restaurant, that couple, it was her and a younger woman. They were clearly done. They were done eating, right?
So now it's just the talking portion.
They were there when we got there, and they were still there when we left.
So is it like, Dan, is this a breakfast situation?
No, dinner.
Dinner. So now there's no alcohol. They're just having cups of coffee.
No.
Maybe they're talking.
Water, as you can see.
Water. So the waiter's not making any money. The waiter is
he's already served them.
Is the restaurant crowded? Semi-crowded?
Reasonably. There's no wait, but it was there's people there.
They got to flush these people out and make room for the next person.
Awful.
Like look, here's me. Awful. If it's me, okay. Here's how deep I go with this. If I'm in a restaurant, which is rare to begin with, unlike you, I don't like going to restaurants. I'm in there. I'm so focused on the fact that it's a crowded restaurant, and now the waiter is looking at me. We're done. When you're in a restaurant, when you're done, Dan, I don't know about you, it's time to go.
Time to go.
Like there's a little. I'd say the rule for that is breakfast. If it's breakfast, you got a little more time to sit and enjoy the cup of coffee after the meal. That's the only caveat. But for lunch and dinner, when you're done, and if you're just drinking just water, you get the hell out. And you make room for the next person who clearly you got to have mercy on the waitress who's like, hey, let's open up this table. I'm just making money you're just ordering water. I'm not making any money.
I do not linger. When I'm done, I get the check and I get out.
Time to go. God bless you.
These people were camping out there. She's blowing her nose, recreational nose blowing many times. It wasn't just
recreational, performative nose blowing.
It wasn't just one time. It was multiple times.
Mississippi.
Then she puts the napkin back on her lap. And I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, oh my God, the busboy's gonna have to fucking touch that.
Yeah, someone's got to touch that because the busboy doesn't wear blue gloves. The busboy
mortified by this.
Yeah, I'm mortified too. The reason I stuck on the first part of the question, like, okay, answer me this. So same situation, except the restaurant's a little nicer, and they give you one of them cloth napkins. How fucking mortifying!
You should never blow your nose.
But you've seen people do this. I've seen people do this.
Not ever do that. No.
You go into a restaurant. It's a nicer restaurant with a cloth napkin. By the way, that's how I classify restaurants. I either call them a paper napkin or a cloth napkin.
Sure,
that's the title of the restaurant. And if it's a cloth napkin, it's a nicer plate. So you go to a restaurant, it's a cloth napkin, and you see, and they're big, which means they fucking launder them, they clean them. Someone's got to deal with that shit. And someone blows their nose in a fucking cloth napkin restaurant and just sort of pats it up and sits in. Someone's got to deal with that. Is there anything more mortifying than someone blowing their nose in a fucking cloth napkin in a restaurant?
Nobody should ever do that. Look, I am of the belief that if you have to blow your nose in a restaurant, you get your ass up, you go to the bathroom. Okay. If it's an emergency situation and it's a paper napkin, I will accept it under protest.
Allow it.
Under protest.
Yeah.
Under protest. Yeah. But if it's a cloth napkin, you're a fucking.
I'm sort of there with you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Dan. I've blown my nose in a restaurant.
I've never, not once.
I have
ever.
But so I'm a little different than you. Like, if I feel like I need to blow my nose, here's the deal. It's a case by case thing. Like, if it's kind of like a trashy sort of, like a Culver's, like a fast food, I'm blowing my nose.
That's not a restaurant.
If there are kids running around in the place,
I'm talking about a sit-down restaurant, Bruce.
Yeah, I know, but if it's a cloth napkin, I'm not blowing my nose in a cloth napkin. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm like,
anyway, it was awful, egregious, and I hope anyway. I don't want to dwell on this. I have a good story for the third thing.
Really? Because I could talk about the blowing of the nose for a long time. But okay, thanks for bringing that up. I really like the blowing of the nose. But what's the third picture?
Okay.
Are you in a rush? We got to get out of here in an hour?
No. I just the third thing has just happened. It's fresh in my head.
Okay. So let me. The third picture, he's got a stock photo of a scooter.
Correct.
Okay, what's going on?
4 years ago, one of my best friend's daughters enrolled here at the University of Florida, and she's a really nice kid. And I said to her, "Hey, here you're going to need a scooter to get around because it's a big campus and it's really hard to get around and there's no parking." I said,
wait a minute. I remember this story. This segues into something that you did in the past.
Yeah, but there's an update. So,
okay, please go.
So go ahead. 4 years ago, her stepdad and I went halvesies in on a Honda scooter, not one of the crappy Chinese made ones that last a year. Yeah. This is a Honda. This was a nice scooter.
I remember Uncle Dan kicked down a couple G's for this.
I did. So I was, nice guy, really nice kid, really liked the kid.
Yeah, that's good.
And
Good for you.
anyway, so she graduated, she's done. The
God.
kid's mother reaches out to me
Uh-huh.
2 weeks ago. Bear in mind, before I get into this, a couple little
I can almost see where this is going. Go ahead.
A couple little factoids. The scooter is titled to her stepdad, not to me. Okay.
Oh my God, I know where
All
this
right.
is going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Scooter's here in town. The scooter's here in town. The kid graduated. The mother, who's one of my best friends, reaches out to me. She says, "Hey, I got a message from."
Where do the parents live?
The mother lives in the Ocala, which is an hour away. Okay.
Okay, not too far.
So the mother reaches out to me and she says, "Hey, she's gonna have to get rid of the scooter because my plan originally was to just have one. I got a mechanic guy here. He was gonna grab it, fix it up, and sell it.
Yeah.
Right. So the mother reaches out to me and she says, "Hey, I got contacted by one of our high school friends that I have not talked to in 25, 30 years. And they have a kid going to UF starting now.
Oh no.
Do you think you would want to let them have the scooter or buy the scooter?"
Oh hell
No, hold on. I said sure. I said sure. It saves me the trouble of having my guy go get it. That way they can just take it. And I don't know anything about scooters. And I asked my guy, I said, "Hey, what's it worth?" He goes, "It's probably worth $1,400-$1,500. I said, "Okay." So I told my friend, I said, "We'll sell it to this friend of ours for $1,000. It's a good deal. Everybody wins. Everybody wins, right?
And then you get $500 out of that?
Yeah, I don't care about the money. I'm just trying to deal with this because it's not titled to me. I don't even have the title. Anyway, so I'm going back and forth.
Yeah, but you've got some money invested into this thing.
Yeah, I don't care about the money. Just
damn.
For the purposes of this discussion, forget the money.
Okay.
So anyway, so I say to my friend, I say, "Yeah, have our friend that I knew in high school call or text me and let me know when they're here, and I'll put him in touch with the kid who has the scooter, and we'll put it together." Okay, great.
Right.
So I heard from her, "Hey, we're going to be there on Saturday the 27th, blah, blah, blah."
Everything becomes Dan's problem.
Yes. Always.
Keep going. Sorry, keep going.
So I said, "Cool." I said, "You'll be here Saturday. Here's the kid's number. Here's the kid's address. Get with the kid and she'll get you the scooter. And she'll have, I'm going to make sure she gets the title and she'll give you the title and give you the scooter. And then when you get the scooter, you can just Venmo me the money and I'll pay her stepdad and everybody's fine."
Oh my God, dude.
So I'm thinking, because the kids had the scooter for 4 years, have been riding it for 4 years. Anyway, so I'm out mowing yesterday, doing my thing. I'm busy. It starts fucking monsooning here, downpour while I'm mowing. So I'm in a rotten fucking mood. Suddenly my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, and it's the kid. The kid's calling me, and our friend's friend, the girl I'm from high school who I haven't talked to in 30 years, is texting me.
Dude.
TLDR. Here's what happens.
What does TLDR mean?
Too long, didn't read. That means I'm going to sum it up real quick.
Okay, got it. Go ahead.
The scooter, in order to do the ignition, it's not like a regular car you stick the key in. There's a plastic lock on top of the key area, so you can't. So any schmuck can't just stick.
She lost the plastic block.
No. Apparently, the lock that locks the plastic thing is broken, so you can't open it to put the key in to start it. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, has this ever happened?" And the kid was like, "No, it's never happened before." I don't think the kid has driven the scooter in a while because she's been out of school for a couple months. So I'm guessing it's sat, and who knows, right? So
all we know is that when it comes time for you to deal with it, now it's broken. It's never been broken when she used it.
The people who were going to take it went to get it, and the plastic thing wouldn't open. And they're like, "Oh, there's something wrong with the ignition." No, it's not the ignition. It's a piece of plastic there's a lock that the tumbler is broken, and you've got to put a new tumbler in it, and then that's it. It's fine. But now it was almost an implication like I'm trying to swindle them. It was really weird.
You caught that vibe?
A little. It was a little weird. It's like, so I say to this girl, not the girl, the adult, I said, "I haven't laid eyes on this thing in 4 years, and the kid's been riding it since then, and I haven't heard a word." I said, "Fine." Because she's like, "Well, we're going to pass." Okay? We're going to pass.
You were going to do something nice, and now we're going to pass.
We're going to pass, and okay. Now the problem is the kid has to get rid of that scooter by tomorrow. Her lease is up tomorrow. She's got nowhere to put it, nowhere to take it.
And it doesn't work.
Well, no, the scooter works. You just have to get that lock open.
Which means it doesn't work for
right.
So go ahead.
You can't start it, right? So I'm like, so I get a little pissy. I'm like,
I'm pissy.
I'm like, so I say the kid's super nice. So I felt bad later, but I'm like, did you not like try this before they came to make sure that it was fine? And she goes, well, it's never done this before. I'm like, oh, so now I'm kind of fucked because now it is my problem because
it's your problem
because she can't take it with her. She's like, well, I can store it. I can have my friends store it. I'm like, that's stupid. Now it's in storage. That doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, but Dan, you know what you got to do?
What?
Dude, you have the power in the situation. You don't care about the money. You just told me that. You know what I'm doing it from you? I'm like, I don't know, honey, figure it out. And just hang up the phone. And she could just leave it on the curb for someone else to steal.
No, you know why? Because her stepdad would then get screwed. It's titled.
That's not your problem. You're not on the title.
But I feel bad for him because he's a nice guy.
Stop feeling bad. Fuck this. This is the stepdad. That's his problem. That's his daughter.
But he's nice.
Oh, fuck this. You're way too nice. Wow, dude. I would be like, honey, it's not my fucking problem.
No. Dude. The stepdad's an hour away, and he probably wants the money, and his name's on title, and he's got the insurance.
So then make your problem his problem.
I know, but he's an hour away. That's what
That's not your problem.
I know. You're right. So what I did was,
damn.
Well, all I did was I called my mechanic guy. I said, hey man, can you drive down there, grab it, fix that lock, and sell the fucker? He goes, yeah, easy. So he went down there, picked up the scooter. He told me what's wrong. He said it's nothing. It's just a broken tumbler on a lock. And then he's gonna sell it. He'll get more money. He'll get some money out of it, which is good for him.
Right.
And then we'll get what we would have gotten, and then some.
And he did the legwork and went down there and just dealt with it.
Yeah, because it had to get dealt with. Because I didn't want
he had to go down there and put it in a truck and deal with it. You're not doing any of that.
I didn't want to tell the poor stepdad. Guess what? It fell through. It's your problem now, right?
I would have, dude. I mean, come on, man.
No, I didn't want to do that to him. He's not local. If he were local, I would feel a little differently about it. But he's not local. I don't want to make.
That's where we're different, man. I mean, that is just nuts to me. Dude, that's nuts to me. First off, that's a great story. And I knew where it was going. The minute you talked about it, I'm like, something happened with this scooter that now Dan, becomes Dan. That's the moral of everything. It's becoming Dan's problem. Everything becomes Dan's problem.
Correct.
So let's circle back to that. He does something nice. He gives someone a scooter. And I'll tell you what else. You told me the story. You want to hear my thoughts on it? Here's what's going on. The nice girl that you gave the fucking scooter to broke this scooter a year ago.
No. No, she wouldn't lie to me. And even my mechanic guy said this is really common that these things break. No. She wouldn't lie to me.
All right, here's what else happened
for a minute. I don't believe that for a minute.
The people that went over to buy the scooter, they're the ones that broke the scooter. They were fiddling around with it.
No. My guy said it is really common in these Hondas that little plastic lock over the ignition key, like the insert for the key, breaks. He said it's really, really common. He said it's very easy fix. If you order a new tumbler, you're good. He said, but it's very common. So I don't think they broke it. But it was weird that they thought like the ignition was bad. It's not the ignition. It's a little lock. It's a tumbler. It's like a.
I mean, all I'm saying is this: in the course of this story, you are very big on forgiving everybody, and God bless you, Dan. Yeah. You're forgiving. It's not this person's fault. It's not that person's fault. Then it becomes your problem. I'm of the. It's either the chick's fault. Fucking did something. The people that went to go buy it fucking did something. Definitely
I would say two things. I would say the kid should have tested it to make sure it's good. Yes,
thank you.
A couple days in advance. Because if she had told me a couple days in advance, hey, the little lock where the ignition is doesn't open, I could have sent my guy down to fix it right then. Right?
She's like, hey Uncle Dan, thanks for buying me this scooter. I've really enjoyed it a lot the past 4 years. You're very nice. You want to sell it now? Okay, I'll make sure everything just working.
I know.
And then
I mean, but this never did it before, so I'm not mad at her. But the weirdest part wasn't that. It was
it's the stepmom with the attitude, right?
No. It was the friends, our other high school friend who was going to buy it, almost acting like
they're the ones that gave you attitude.
It felt like they thought that there was something sketchy going on. I'm like, No.
You're trying to sell us a
No.
hunk of junk, right? Like that.
Kinda. It's just weird because it's like number one, I've known you since 1986. Okay, A. B. You know that I'm an hour that I don't give a shit about the money. C. You know, I mean, the kid she's had it for 4 years. I haven't seen
Were they?
this
Let me
thing.
ask you: were they pissed? Were these future buyers pissed that they had to like drive out? They were going to drive out there.
No, they were here anyway. I don't think they were mad. But it felt weird. It felt weird. They could have said. You know what they could have said? You know what they could have said? Hey,
what?
The lock on the thing's broken. Do us a favor. Send your guy to fix it, and we'll take it.
But what did they say instead?
They're like, no, we're going to pass.
We're going to pass. Yeah, those 3 words would have irritated me too.
It was just weird. It's just weird.
It's like, oh, really? What do you mean pass? What am I offering you? Some fucking great thing? Pass? You're going to pass over me?
The whole thing is weird. So, I mean, in the end, it's going to be fine. My guy will sell it. He'll make a little money. We'll make a little more than we would have. It's because, it's just the whole, like I said, it all happened when I was trying to do
That is just wild. I would have handled it.
Shit. And Kara agrees with you. Kara said I should have said, not my problem, deal with it.
So hold on. Kara agrees with me on this.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
She's like, you're an idiot. You should have told her, not your problem. I don't care what you do with it. Leave it on the street corner for all I care.
Thank you. All right. You got to tell Kara. That's exact. When you told me this story and you get to the part of the story where the girl calls up and says, I don't know what to do, Uncle Dan. I'm moving in a couple days.
No,
whatever.
Day.
Like I'm at the, and I know you're a nice guy, Dan, and I know she's nice and her dad's nice. Everyone's nice. But at that point of the story, I'm like, I don't. Dan, your name's not on the title, and you don't care about the money. Had it been me, I would have been fucking focused on that money. I would have been like, man, I need that money, right? You don't give a fuck about the money.
Here, you would be making you would have made $500 like.
Oh, that would have been my job.
Yes.
I would have been all over this, Dan. I would have enjoyed that job. Are you kidding? I would have gone over there and mixed it up.
All right, so what? So like you show up and okay, we got to role play.
Okay, here it is. Okay, let's get to the point of the story. Hold on.
So we got to role play.
So we will.
Okay.
Hold on. We got to get to the point of the story where the girl calls you and says, "Okay,
we got to go the point of the story. Go back when the buyers come to get it. And
at what point do you get me involved and tell me what to do? And
so
I'll tell you.
The buyers come to get it. She can't open the plastic cover, and she texts me and says, "Hey, we're having problems." I say, "Henchman, go. Bruce, activate." So I send Bruce. Bruce then you rappel in off a building, like off a neighboring building.
Am I dealing with her face to face or on the phone?
You are there in person with her and the buyer. Okay, and right.
She's complaining that it doesn't work.
No. She says, hey, so the key goes in there, but we can't get in there because there's a plastic little cover on it that we can't unlock because the lock doesn't work, and it's never done this before. And the buyer's like, this is strange. Does this thing not work? What's going on here? What would you do?
So who are the 2 people there's the seller? I don't understand.
There's 3 people present. There's the girl who owns the scooter, who had got
the young girl that used the scooter for 4 years.
And then there's the buyer, who is in this case, it's the father of the kid who's going to take the scooter, and the kid who's going to take the scooter.
And you know the buyer?
I knew them in high school. I don't know their kid. I know the buyer. Yeah.
So now, the buyer is the one that's saying, "Hey, it doesn't work," or they both discover at the same time.
Something's up with the ignition. I don't think we want this. Something's wrong.
And so you bring in me, and I repel in, and I'm face to face, and you want to see what I do.
What do you say? Well, how do you handle it?
Okay, I got it. I got you covered, boss. I roll in. There's a young college girl there who's clearly, it's not her fault. You're absolutely right. She didn't break it. I'm just telling you where my mind is. She's just like, I don't know, whatever. But then there's this guy who you don't really know. Okay, this is not your friend. I don't give a fuck if you knew him in high school, right? No. And he's there causing a little bit of problems. He's being kind of a schnurr, right? He's being kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't work or whatever. It's okay. So you know how I handle it? I walk in, I go, okay, so I don't buy it. And then he goes, what do you mean don't buy it? I need this for my daughter. I thought, I'm a little disappointed. I was like, hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, buddy. It doesn't work. Did you drive here a couple hours? No, Dan, he didn't drive there a couple hours, right? He's in
No,
the neighborhood.
They did not. No. They did drive here a couple hours, but they were there anyway to move their kid in.
They didn't drive specifically for the bike.
No.
Okay.
See, I wouldn't have handled it that way. I would have said, hey, it's a plastic cover with a lock that is broken.
Okay,
the
I take it
scooter
back.
itself
That's
is not
what
broken.
That's what I would have said. So, okay, how much were they looking to buy this thing for? $1,000?
Yeah, I had said I'll give it to him for $1,000.
Okay, here's what I do. Let me take it back. I'll take it back to the whole situation. I go there. He's like complaining. I can't get it to start. Whatever. I look at it. I'm enough of a mechanic type dude. I can see that it's a little piece of plastic. I can see that it's
a
not
lock. Right.
So here's what I say. I take it back. Yeah, I go like, oh, this is really not working. Whatever. I'm like, well, I can give you two options. I can get my guy to fix it. It's going to take a little while. It's going to cost a little bit. Or you could just take it out to give it $900. Take it out of here. $900. Take it out of here. It's your fucking problem.
Yeah, I think they would be like, nah, I'm going to pass. I think
then I'll say get out of here.
Yeah,
Stop wasting my time.
Yeah.
And then so then he leaves and I piss him off, right? Yeah. By the way, I'm making these decisions. You're not dealing with it, which
correct.
is why you hire me, right?
That's correct.
So
That's
you're over there. You don't have to worry about it. So now I've upset this guy and he goes, right? Mm-hmm. So then I'm there with the young girl who's like, I don't know what to do, Uncle Dan. And I'm like, Dan doesn't care about the money. This chick doesn't care, whatever. I'm there with like a pickup truck and I go, I'll handle it, honey. And I just fucking take the mini bike. Now I take this fucking thing and I take it. And I'm Bruce the henchman. Now I got this thing. Now I figure out who's got the title.
No, the kid had I did make sure the kid had the title on hand. The kid had the title.
Kid had the title on hand.
Yes. She hands you. So this is what I did. I sent my equivalent of Bruce, my Bruce stand-in, right? I sent him down. He went last night. He got the scooter. He got the title. He said, I checked it out. It's just the tumbler on the lock. No biggie. I'll fix it.
Did he give her any money?
No. She doesn't get any money. What's going to happen is he's going to now sell it for real, like to a random. He's going to probably get $1,400.
Yeah, he'll get. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm going to let him keep a couple hundred for himself.
Oh,
right, just for doing this for me, and then the rest of the money will be split by me and the stepdad.
So I probably would have wound up doing that, but a part of me thinks that if I was Dan's henchman, I would sort of let myself get carried away with the henchman role and maybe behaving badly, And I think I would probably get there and see this situation and bring it back to my first thing where if the guy hit me with any kind of attitude whatsoever in his voice, that was like, I don't think we're going to pass. I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I'd be like, well, then pass. Then don't buy it. Well, I don't know. I can't believe you're talking to me this way. I'm Dan's old friend. I'm like, funny, he didn't describe you as his old friend.
Yeah.
And off he would go.
Again.
He would say, hey, Dan, this guy Bruce is an asshole. You know what I mean?
It's all going to work out because it's going to sell. We're going to get more money for it. The brand new, those things are $2,500. Like you can get them used for $1,500-ish, and we'll sell it. It'll be fine.
You know what I would have done though if I was really down there and I was your henchman, like living in some like trailer that you put me in? I'd be like, hey, I want this fucking thing, and I would take it and fix it and paint it and just drive around town. Just have it like, hey, Dan. Thanks for the fucking. Do you care about this? No, I don't care about the money.
No, but Kara completely agrees with you. I got to tell her that you were of one mind. I just couldn't do that to the stepdad. I felt bad.
I wouldn't give a fuck about him. I'd be like, look, hey, he and
I are friends, and he divorced the mom, so it's awkward, and like, I just didn't want to shackle him with this bullshit.
So I've done this. In real life, I've abandoned vehicles where I had a truck. I drove it to California. I got a hit and run with it. I covertly I had the truck. After the hit and run, I then had this truck I had to get rid of. I parked it in a neighborhood far away. Then I went to Oakland. I got an angle grinder. I grounded off the serial number on it, the VIN number on it. And then I left it in a bad neighborhood in Oakland and walked away. And then I came back to that bad neighborhood in Oakland on my bike like a couple weeks later, and it was there with a lot of parts missing off of it. This is Oakland in the early 90s. So it was easy to get rid of shit. There was a couple burned out car carcasses and stuff. And then that's not only the first time. Then Grotus had a van we had to get rid of. And of course, everyone in Grotus was like, I don't know what to do about this van. I'm like, Let me take care of it. I brought it back to the same neighborhood in Oakland, did the same fucking thing, left it there, and it was gone within a week. And then, of course, you take the title. You want to get rid of the VIN number, you whatever. Don't answer any mail. Just get the hell out of there. Problem solved.
Nah, this will
Done
be
the same
fine.
fucking
I mean,
thing.
we'll sell it. We'll get a few shekels. Maybe if anything comes up where maybe I'll have you handle shit, I'll just pay you to handle it next time.
Dude, it would have been fun. I would have done some fun with it to like yeet it into the water, like to fucking drive it off the end of a pier and just fucking woo and just fucking let it sink.
So I have to wrap up for a very strange reason. No. You know why? Because we're about to get rain and all my shoes are outside. And because I have no room to store shit inside.
So get your shoes and come back in. I'm not done talking. I got other things I want to talk about.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it. Hold on, you ready? We're gonna pause and come right back. Ready?
Pause. So Dan,
and we're back.
And Dan just got his shoes. Dan was telling me he got a monsoon and the rain comes in.
The travails of RV living. Anyway.
Yeah, and by the way, we got. I know you want to get out of here, but I got a couple more things I want to talk about. I won't talk.
Yeah. I got your thing right here. Here we go.
This has been nuts. What I've been trying to do here lately, and if you could put up that other photograph that I sent, it's kind of small, but I mean, basically, Dan got me an iPhone, and so if you swipe left on the home screen, you get it tells you what your screen time is and how this graph shows up and tells you like how long you're on Facebook for and how long you're on social media and all this stuff. And, you know, as you know, Dan, and as a lot of people know, listen to podcasts, I'm an addict. Like, I have it. Yeah. And that's why I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. It's because I'm an addict and I've abused those things in the past. I can't control it, right? I'm comfortable saying that. So social media, addiction can rear its ugly head in a lot of different ways. I know people that are addicted to this fakakta gaming. You know how grown adults are gaming all the time? You've seen this, right? They just game for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And then some guys are addicted to porn, and some guys are addicted to fucking this and that. So there's
coffee.
And I so anyway, I just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I had COVID, right? And I found myself more than, you know, I would just stay in my room and just scroll on the phone. And then but even before that, I noticed this little graph that shows up on the phone lets you know how long you've been on the phone. And some horrifying numbers have been racking up. Like this one right now shows, okay, so I'm on a social media blackout, a self-imposed social media blackout, which I've never done. I've never been able to do. I just had sometime last week, I looked at my use and it said in one day, it said you were on the phone. It said you were on the phone for 12 hours. That means, yeah, okay, you fixed it. So this is what we're looking at now. But when I tell you before, it would say 12 hours. You've been on the phone for 12 hours in a 24-hour period.
That's
and
insane.
I average 8 hours of social media a day. 8 hours a day.
It's crazy, Bruce. That's crazy. And I love Twitter, but if I do 1 hour a day, it's a lot.
So right, and so that's why this graph was horrifying me. It was becoming, you know, it's letting you know, like, because if you're just on the phone, you're living your life, whatever, you're checking it, you don't get the hard numbers. But to see the numbers in the graph, where you see these bars, they were all going dead up to 60. So every hour you're on the phone for an hour, boom, 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 and it would show me on Facebook and TikTok. From 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., solid hours, 5 hours, right? Just TikTok.
Right.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, and then I start to like tell myself, like, I'm not getting any art done. I got things to do. I'm doing nothing. I'm just lying in bed playing on the phone, right? And you know what? We got to stop showing this photo. It's making me self-conscious.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. No. Listen, like it's a comedy show.
Okay.
So anyway, Dan again shows that disparaging picture of me. He loves showing that for a laugh. But that's fine. Okay, I might look. One thing about us, we laugh at ourselves.
Yes, we do.
We weren't able to laugh at ourselves. This would be a fucked up show.
It would.
But anyway. So I'm spending way too much time on social media, and so last Monday, I decided that's it. enough. See, I don't know from moderation. That's the thing about addicts and truly addicts. Like, you don't know. There is no moderation. There's no like, maybe I'll only do 1 hour a day. No. So like, I got upset at myself when I saw the graph that said I'm on the phone for fucking 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. And I go, you know what? No more phone for a week. Starting Wednesday, starting Wednesday at 6 in the morning to next Wednesday at 6 in the morning. And I set the parameters. The parameters is that you're not allowed to click it on Facebook. Here's the thing. These are my big problems. It's Facebook number 1, TikTok number 2, Instagram number 3. Those are the big ones. I will fuck around on Twitter just to look at stuff. And Nextdoor, I really like Nextdoor. Do you know what that is?
Oh no, it's the worst. That's
I only do Nextdoor just to hate on people.
Oh my God, that's the Nextdoor is the worst.
It is the worst.
It's like Karen, Boomer Karen.
I get my hate on Nextdoor. Every post I read, I fucking hate. So that's the thing. I get on Nextdoor and I'm hating on people, and I get on Twitter and I'm hating on people.
Yeah.
But then I get on TikTok and it's just like hot chicks. It's like thick Asian chicks. It's like 5 hours of thick Asian chicks doing dances, right? Of like Southeast. So then there's like, of course, and then there's Facebook where I'm nosy, right? I'm like, what's so-and-so up to? What is so-and-so up to? What? And then I share my opinion on Facebook and I'm in groups and blah, blah, blah. So all this is a massive waste of time.
Correct.
And so I decided, okay, dude, for 1 week, you're not allowed, and you got to like see if you can do this. And by the way, I entered in this thing going, I don't think I can fucking do this, dude. This is last Wednesday at 6 in the morning. No Facebook, no TikTok, no Twitter, no Instagram. Now here's the caveats. I allowed myself Facebook Messenger. You know, Facebook Messenger is where you're
communication tool.
It's like you could talk to people, and I need to messenger some people. I don't have their cell phone number, right?
Right.
So I have that. And I don't have much of a social life outside of the phone. Like I have the banditos and I have things that I do, but really it's a lot of just being stuck in house. And the weather's been super hot, 114 degrees. There's not much else to do. So anyway, here's how it's been going. So you can see by the chart, 42 minutes screen time. Now that's really low because like usually it counts. Unfortunately, it counts Messenger as social media or something. And it counts Netflix. I don't know. It counts certain things as social media, which I disagree with. Like it counts YouTube as social media, whatever.
Yeah.
But did you know about this screen on you must have known about the screen on iPhone.
I won't look because I know I won't like it. Let me see what mine
Look
says.
at yours. I bet the number's up there. It's horrible. You open up the home screen and swipe to the right, and this thing comes up and it lets you know like, hey, asshole, this is how long you've been fucking off on the phone for. And it's got and to make it worse, you click on this and it gives you other details. Like, here's how long you're on Facebook for. Here's what you're doing. It's very harsh information.
I must have mine turned off because I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, you got to click the phone off. And then when you open up the phone and you see the numbers, the big home screen with the clock, if you see the big home screen with the clock, then you swipe right from that. Like
no, I don't get it. I think
you don't have that.
I think I have it turned off.
Well, that's why you're not. That's why, because the horror that this thing. And look, I've been knowing for many, many years that I'm addicted to social media. Just like how I knew for many years that I was addicted to drugs and I was addicted to alcohol and cigarettes. I just knew it. But for some reason, for whatever reason, and I think it was because I was like, I'm running out of money.
Mine's turned off.
Okay. So if you turned it on, you'd be horrified. Because you're like, I don't spend too. You'd be like, I'm only on Twitter for an hour a day.
I am not on here very much. I'm on the
computer. Is it the computer?
Yeah. Which is the same.
But is there a Twitter on the home screen? Do you do that on the computer?
I go to the website. Yeah, Twitter.
And so you can do the same thing, but because I've never done that once.
I mean,
I thought it was just an app.
I think if I'm I'd have I do that stuff too, but I don't think I'm nearly as bad as you.
I was real bad.
I think so probably a couple hours a day tops.
I say you double that. You're probably up there.
You might be right.
But anyway, because I was totally like this, and you do. By the way, you do that with drinking too. Like, oh, I don't drink that much. I drink only a couple beers a night. No, it's more like 12. And so like, But so when I saw the horror of the numbers in these bars and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, this is nuts. Like I could be making art. I could be trying to do something productive. And meanwhile, it's other things that are on my list. You know how I am, Dan. There's like a list I keep of stuff I got to do, right? Like it's an old school list. Like this. And like nothing gets done on that list. And it's because I'm sitting around on bed rotting. I'm just playing on the phone and I don't give a fuck. And it's just like, dude. So it's been hard. I will say this. It's been hard. I'm like, I find myself like accidentally hitting the Facebook button just from muscle memory. Go, no, shut it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not supposed to be on there. And I have been, to this point, very good at it. But sometimes I don't know what to fucking do with myself, dude. Like literally, like if I don't get on Facebook and see what other people are doing, if I can't get on Nextdoor to hate on boomers, if I fucking can't get on Twitter to hate on political people, like it's and if I can't see my thick Asian chicks on TikTok, like what am I doing?
Well, and so look, the thick Asian chicks I think are fine. I think your main issue is and I'm the same way, right? The negativity that builds up.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
that's what I
anger
want to
you
talk
see
about.
when you like there's certain, we all have this. Everybody has.
Let's not get into why, but we both know what we're talking about.
Everybody has. I'm not getting into why, but everybody has certain, for lack of a better phrase, triggering things.
Oh,
things
I am
fucking bad.
I am easily triggered. I know people will say, trigger. Yeah, I'll admit, dude, I'm triggered as fuck on certain things. And I will just like, you know what? It sucks. It get that negative energy. Like, I hate to be all hippie about it, but if you live in like this negative mind space, and if you live in this hate, like we have fun hating on nose blowers and stuff like that. That's not really horror. No. But I'm talking about,
you know what? Right, you'll be on Twitter and you'll see somebody unironically, not joking, not being sarcastic, not being silly, saying something that is just abjectly absurd, like
to you,
or in general, just I think blah 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 blah, and you can tell it's not sarcastic. I'm saying blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I think blah 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 blah. I think 2 + 2 = 8. Right, whatever it is, and it's some topic. Like I think that a guitar with a single pickup is a awful thing and created by Satan to divide us. Right, whatever. Right, and so my point is, we all have that. Certain things. Even my wife, who is like doesn't give a fuck about most of this shit, she'll have certain things that she'll see will drive her nuts. Everybody has that.
But it gets me into this hatred, negative mind space.
Yes. It's very bad.
It affects negativity, draws more negativity.
It's very bad. It's bad for you.
And if you live in a positive mind space, positive things happen to you, and you feel better.
I don't necessarily think it means bad things happen to you, but I think it's bad for your mental health. And
unquestionably,
you're fixated on
things that upset you.
And honestly, what is it? It's some random dumb fuck.
Right.
Who knows? It might be
arguing with people.
It might be a 19-year-old kid. It might be someone who's paid to say stupid shit. It might be. There's a million things it could be. Right.
But it upsets me, dude. And I realize that, and I find myself going. See, the thing is, if you've been in therapy, I've been in therapy. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing to know. At least know that about yourself. Like at least I'm sort of, and from getting clean and sober, I know like, oh, I'm spiraling. You know what I mean? Like I can tell, like, dude, you're spiraling. You're doing it right now. Do you want to break out of it? Yes or no? So I'm like, fuck, dude. So like that's what it's been, and it's been great. So it's been hard not to be on Facebook and sort of like post fun pictures of what I'm doing, and like I do like the social interaction, but it's the hating that really I'm glad. And so things have been good this past 4 days. I've been off social media. I'm here to report that I've been 100% successful for, I guess, 5 days now. And I come up to Wednesday and I have not checked in Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, none of that, Twitter, not once. The only thing I allow myself to do, and I downloaded like apps like, different apps, like I guess BBC and like Associated Press and routers. I want to be informed of what's going on in the world, the best of my ability. But I will not get that shit from social media. That's
it is. And I think you and I are a little different in that we're the same in one way. We both have those same tendencies. I think the difference is I don't have the addictive personality. So
yeah, anyone that doesn't have the addictive personality, oh man, you're lucky. Anyone who's able to go into one,
I'm able to go onto Twitter and see 3 morons saying something stupid and yell at them and then get right off.
And not have it affect your day?
Maybe to some small degree it will, but I'm able to kind of let it go. A lot of it because I'm busy. I got other shit to do. But I have really, really tried. Because I have a lot of people on Twitter that I follow who follow me who I like. People I don't know in real life. And I like them, right? And I really am trying to focus less on the shit that invites in the crazy and more on topics that don't invite in the crazy, like music,
like guitars,
music, or people who blow their nose in restaurants,
right? Blowing the nose, and people that drink milk. I mean, so there's things that, there are things. I'm with you. Like lately, and this is part of a person's growth and mental health, to realize this stuff and correct bad behavior on your own part, be accountable to yourself rather than just continuing down this fucking path. So I'm like, okay. Let me just focus on art. So like lately on all my social media, I want to take away the bad stuff and put more art. So that's the kind of content I want. And I know the more that I click and interact with that shit, the more that the machine brings me, right? So that's what I'm doing.
You know something, a quick story, like very quick.
A few days ago, I was on and there was a guy saying something really fucking dumb, right? And it was just so dumb that you almost had to laugh. It's like, this can't be real, right? And so I replied to him and the other people who on thread, basically, this can't be real. Like, this is just stupid, whatever. And then I logged off and I didn't get on Twitter for 2 or 3 days because I was busy. Bruce? 2 or 3 days?
Something like that. I get back on and I see that this thread has been going on for that entire time. This guy, this agitator guy, who is just Bruce. I'm not going to tell you what the topic is, but even you.
Please don't. I can pretty much imagine, though.
No, but you would agree with me. You would agree with me that this guy is an agitator and is either crazy or something's not right. Like, no rational person continues this particular discussion for 2 fucking days. It's insane. It's insane, right? Because this wasn't.
You gotta let it go.
This wasn't substantive. This wasn't. Look, I'm all about disagreements. I'm all about, hey man, I'm for X and you're for Y. Let's talk about it. That's great. I got no problem with that. This was like, I'm for X, but if you're for Y, it means your dick is only 3 inches long. And I mean, it was just like, the guy is just bonkers, right? And we was talking about a specific topic where there's multiple reasonable approaches. This was not a reasonable approach. And so I log back on and I'm like, I say to the people, I muted the crazy guy. And I say to the people I like, I'm like, I can't believe you guys are still talking to this guy. It's been 3 days. Like, the guy's not rational. This is not normal people shit, right? And so, but it tells you, it's instructive that there's people out there. And the internet brings them into your life.
But here's the thing. Me and you are those people too. It's not like me and you are high and mighty.
No, I'm not that person.
Never done that.
No, I have changed my behavior in one way. Okay? And maybe you'll like this, maybe you won't. If I deem a person unreachable, and what I mean by that is they're not arguing with you in a good faith way, like debating with you. Like when you and I talk about shit, it's good faith. Like, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, we don't agree, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a person who is either mentally ill,
like was the personal attacks like that, like
they do that, it becomes crazy. It's crazy. It's not rational. It's crazy. It's like cult-like behavior, and you can't.
Rational to you. You got to put to you at the end of these things, because I'll do that to me. Like, there are things that are rational and crazy to me that might not rational and crazy.
You're either reachable or you're not. Let's put it that way. You're either
reachable or teachable, maybe, or like
reachable, where you're willing to engage in a back and forth with a person where you are some part of you is open to listening and to like having a reasonable discussion.
I'll always listen, but I won't.
No, you're reachable.
Agree.
You're reachable. No, you don't have. I'm not talking about agreement. I'm talking about saying I'm willing to listen to your point of view.
Yeah.
And I may not agree with you,
yeah,
but
no,
I
I'm
will
with you
listen
there.
to your point of view. And I'm not going to call you names, and I'm not going to say, "Oh, well, you must be, this or that or whatever." I'm going to listen to your point of view, and I might.
So, what's the new thing you do? Do you block them? So for your mental
health?
No,
here's what I do. I mute. I don't ever block. I mute. If I deem someone unreachable,
is that something that you can do on Twitter or other social?
Twitter.
That's specifically
Twitter. So you're not blocking them. You mute them so you don't see what they say. And again, I don't do this if it's just something I disagree with. Like I wouldn't mute.
Facebook has something like that too, where you can I think they call it unfollow or hide. There's a million different things that you can do with different formats, right?
But I think in the climate we're in now, this is my conclusion. The climate we're in now, you have, if I'm guessing, about 30% of all people, maybe not 30, maybe 25%, are unreachable. Regardless of what their point of view is, whether they're on one side or the other side, they're unreachable. They're not
30?
willing. 25 to 30%. I think most people are reachable. Most people don't give a shit, Bruce. Okay? You got to remember, most people who are registered to vote don't vote. So I think it's 25 to 30%, and that encompasses everybody on both sides, right? Who are not reachable. And what I mean by that is, again, it's not, it is, they will not, if you don't agree with them.
Well, you said it, to talk in bad faith, like that's a good term.
Right. It's good faith means, look, I might think your point of view is terrible, but I'm willing to talk to you. I'm willing to hear what you have to say. And I'm going to tell you my point of view, and we're going to listen to each other. Maybe we disagree, but we can shake hands and, hey, we disagree, and that's cool. Right. But it is the 25%.
So you're saying you
I think about a quarter of people are unreachable, but I think on social media it's much higher than a quarter.
But you said you've made some changes to do something positive. What did you do?
If I deem someone unreachable, I might reply one time and then I will mute them immediately. I don't go back. I do not try to go back and forth. That is a waste of my time.
Yeah, no, that's good. And that's good for your mental health too. Like I'm happy I do a lot of, you know what I do a lot of, dude. So I'm not on Twitter. I do the Facebook, right? I'm on Facebook a lot. And I've got a lot of different people from different walks of life on Facebook. And a lot of times I don't like people chiming in. And so there's a lot, probably over 50% of my Facebook friends are, I forget whether it's muted or unfollowed or whatever. Like there are so many different levels, right?
No, I'm like you.
And I just can't figure it out. Like I'm still learning how it all works. All I know is that the gray globe means everybody can see that shit, right?
Well, I have hidden so many people. I'm sure you have too. Like you have a friend and you like that person. It might be a person you like, really cool person, but they're a little nutty on a particular topic and they talk about it all the time and it's repetitive. And so you're like, mute them. You just mute them. You don't see it. That's what I do.
In other words, a good non-political part of this is like, say it's like a woman that is a Facebook friend of mine and she gets pregnant and they're going to have a kid. You know where I'm going with this.
Mute.
Every single post
mute
is going to be kid.
Mute,
and I still like them.
Yeah.
But if that's the whole content, I'm not interested.
You don't want that on your feed. That's right.
No, they're done. They're done.
If I log into Facebook now, because of how I've muted so many people, all I see is pigs,
right,
dogs, and then people. A very small number of people I know who actually do not spend their time like talking about the same three fucking things over.
I have the same. You know what? My Facebook experience, I've done the same thing. I've done straight up blocking. I've done blocking. I've done unfollowing. Oh, I love blocking. I don't give a fuck. Like the minute someone I decided like on any social media format, if someone is going to affect me in a certain way, whether it's logical or not, I don't need it in my life, and they're blocked. Done. My mental health is too precious.
Okay.
Done. And so, but like my Facebook is just either like Wasteland, Grateful Dead shit, art shit, punk rock shit, graffiti, things like this. Thick Asian chicks, definitely. Maybe some
Well, that won't hurt. The Asian chicks won't hurt your mental health.
Won't hurt my what?
Mental health.
No, they help my mental health, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to. I've just learned if a person is not reachable, it's a waste of time. You're not dealing with irrational. They're either irrational, or they have an agenda. And there's people. Look, don't confuse it on anything. There's people on social media who are paid to be.
No,
there.
that's true. But when you say that, I often will say to myself, like, look, sometimes I'm not rational. Sometimes I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I gotta put that laser focus on myself. Dude.
Okay, forget the word rational. Reachable.
Yeah.
Are you willing to have a conversation where you listen to the other person, where your point of view is coming from a good place? From this is what I really think. It's not some performative shit. I'm not being paid to say it. I'm not. Anyway,
I just know. Like, but beyond that. In general, when it comes time to, when it's criticizing other people for various number of wide topics, I always like to take that laser focus and focus it on me, right? And then you'll learn a lot. Like, dude, I'm just like that, or I'm bad like that too. I mean, the power of being able to like look at yourself and hold yourself accountable for that shit is growing, because I've been pretty bad on a lot of topics, and to be able to like sort of like grow and learn from it, reachable. Helps you evolve as a person rather than be stuck.
It's critical. It's critical to be reachable and to have an open mind and to be willing to listen to people's point of view. And that's something.
But people are allowed to have their opinions and different points of view.
Well, no, having a different opinion is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone who is shut off to the idea that there's another approach. Or there's another perspective.
I'm not shut off to those other ideas, but I'm not shut off to those other approaches and not other ideas and other ways of thinking. I'm not shut off, but I do know that I don't agree with that, and I'm allowed to not agree.
Of course,
I'm allowed to not like.
Disagreement's good. The problem is the problem comes when you're shut off, and neither you nor I are. I know I'll always listen. I know you will. You and I disagree all the time. Disagreement's fine. That's not the issue. It's when you're dealing with crazy people who are just like not. It's just a waste of time. Anyway,
another quick thing. I know. I got one more quick thing. Hate to tell you. So when I go to Wasteland, which is in 8 weeks, they want me to do this thing where I drum in a cosplay outfit where I'm not wearing a shirt. Right. One of the guys from Mad Max. You're not wearing a shirt, painted in white like a war boy, and you're drumming. Right. You got to do it in front of all these people to wake up the line. They pay me to do this. And I'm like, okay, I've done it before, but it was like 5 years ago. I was in much better shape. I'm 56 now. When I take off my shirt, it's nothing pretty to look at. You know what I mean? And so now I'm at the gym, and I discovered, like, dude, if I have to do this, I got to get in shape in 8 weeks. So not only am I off social media for this past week, I decided last night when I was at the gym, you got 8 weeks to look as least gross as you can with your shirt off. Like, I know I'm not going to look.
You're not.
Huh? I know bad. I'm not gonna look good, but I just don't want to look like the guy with the rotting arm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to.
I just don't care anymore.
Part of me doesn't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and one thing that is great about all this is like this new movement cosplay, which is good. There's no body type in cosplay. Everybody should be able to play whatever they want. Yeah, and I know, and which is true, but I know that like if you look at some of the war boys that are in Mad Max, these motherfuckers are shredded. These are dudes. They're shredded.
You're 56, but compared to most 56-year-olds, look, I know Bruce. You and I are hard on each other for good reason, but compared to most people our age, you and I look pretty good.
Thank you, Dan. You know what, Dan? Right back at you, buddy. Even though you show disparaging pictures of me all the fucking time. I know that
compared to people over 50, like I'm not doing too bad, and neither are you.
No. You know what? And that picture of that guy with the rotting arm, he's probably not as old as you think he is.
No, you're right about
Guy's
that.
probably
You're
early
right about
60s.
Yeah,
Guy's
like
probably
10 years
early fucking 60s, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry about the long ass podcast.
Yeah, I got a bowl that's getting close to pick
I
dinner
know,
time.
but
It
it's
is
been-
going to storm here like something fierce.
Well, you better go. Look, monsoon season, we got them here too. Same thing's fucking happening. It blows away carport. Now, is the carport holding up good to the winds?
Yeah, it's rated to 140 miles an hour.
You're set, dude. Set. It's
You
been
kidding?
great talking to you, buddy. Great podcast.
Yeah,
I know
thanks
this is going to
everybody
be a good one.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll get it packaged up. We will see everyone next week.
Dead Mall and
Dead
Rotting
Mall
Black
and-
Arm.
And recreational nose blowing. Yeah.
Yes, Dead Mall and Recreational. Yeah. Dan, let me leave you with this. Hold on a second.
Don't do it.
How about this, Dan? Then